Think about the last 5 posts you saw on your feed. Why those? And who gets to decide that those are the ones you get to see? As someone who uses social media for both news and entertainment, I started to notice something. It doesn't just show you what's popular, it shapes what I'm exposed to. But the more I paid attention, the more I realized it's deciding who gets a voice and who doesn't. Social media algorithms don't just reflect what's popular, they decide what gets attention. They prioritize engagement, meaning they push content that gets the most likes, comments, and shares. The more engagement something gets, the more it gets pushed, and that's because it keeps people on the platform longer, which ultimately drives profit.
The more I paid attention to my social media feeds, the more I started noticing patterns. Certain types of content, opinions, and creators constantly showed up over and over again, while other perspectives barely appeared at all. That connects to the idea of hegemony, where repeated exposure to dominant ideas slowly shapes what feels normal or important without us even realizing it. Over time, the algorithm keeps reinforcing the same kinds of voices and perspectives because those are the ones getting the most engagement. At the same time, not every voice gets treated equally online. Some perspectives are harder to find or receive far less visibility, which connects to digital redlining. Even though social media feels open to everyone, algorithm still influences which content gets pushed forward and which content gets buried. Representation also plays a role in this. The people and perspectives we constantly see online shape how we understand the world and who we think matters. And behind all of this is platform capitalism. Social media platforms are designed to keep users engaged for as long as possible because engagement drives profit. The more attention content gets, the more likely it is to be promoted by the algorithm, regardless of whether it is informative, balanced, or even accurate. To better understand how social media shapes visibility, representation, and access, I spoke with Dana Amahir, founder of Afro-LA News and Code Black Media Design. The normal use of social media, or what they should be seeing on their feed.
Yeah, I think that social media right now, to put it bluntly, it's kind of a hellscape. And part of that, it's algorithm driven. It's because the algorithms are able to select what it is that you see in your feed. It's not necessarily based on your connections. It's not necessarily based on who you follow. It's based on, information that powerful tech companies really want you to see. It's psychology. It's figuring out what you can show someone to get a certain response. And, you show a bunch of puppies in your feed. It's like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's a good thing. It's trying to, get your endorphins going. It's trying to trigger that, like, oh, put you in a soft space. But then, almost slowly transitioning you. You mentioned like ad thing. Those ads are also by design. You get served ads based on the things that you like, the things you comment, the people you follow, the people whose profiles you look at. So all of that is by design. So if you're constantly seeing violence or hate or things that are negative, you start to internalize that after a while. We're always on our phones. Everybody's always on. If you're constantly bombarding yourself with those messages or allowing yourself to be, then it feels like, something that was supposed to be a tool to foster connection between people and to share information has become weaponized.
Earlier you said to be seen, and you mentioned Afro-LA. I want to switch spaces to representation and social media. Okay. So in your view, how does social media shape representation of different communities and identities?
I think in its current format that social media can help perpetuate a lot of stereotypes. It can perpetuate discrimination against certain groups because of those stereotypes. I've seen some really horrific depictions of Latina people who, have been, the representations online don't speak at all to the richness of the community. Have been reduced down to, troublesome immigrants, and that's just, or in some cases, they're called a lot worse. I would end on a positive note. I would say that as much, awful and evil there is on social media right now that is dividing communities and is intended to divide communities. I mean, content around immigration or around crime. Um, Actually, one of a recent story, we spoke with a community organization leader from Community Coalition of Los Angeles. She was telling us about a program that they had started to help, Latina neighbors go get groceries, go pick up their kids from school, because they're afraid to come out of their house. And this was Black communities showing up for Brown communities, which sometimes, we're pegged against each other. Not just the who is being redlined, it's the why. It's the why it is still this way. And if you start, really unpacking it, the why is tied exactly to what those digital social spaces are intended to do, which is connect people and to, you're able to build relationships. Well, if you're cut out of that, you're cut out of the conversation and your voice is missing.
In the end, social media algorithms aren't just organizing content. They're shaping power by deciding who gets to see what and who gets ignored. I'm Gerardo Chagolla, signing off.